guys didn't really seem to care about what position we did next, so I decided we would do centers next. If you have a preferred position you want to see, make sure you leave it down in the comments. And also leave it down in the comments some maybe honorable mentions, some maybe mismatches you would put in your own list. And yeah, it should be a lot of fun. And also make sure you like the video if you do end up liking the video, or if you're just excited for next season like I am. Also, make sure you check out yesterday's video where we did grading every NBA team's off season. It was a lot of fun. We talk about, all the trades and the free agent signings and all that jazz. It was a lot of fun, so make sure you check that out. And yeah, I think that is everything. Quick intro. Let's finally get started with tonight's video. Alrighty, so starting off with the list at number 10. Yes, I do have a stick of coming, so hopefully that's not too annoying for you if you're not into that. But at number 10 on my list, it's tough. The last, maybe 3, maybe even 4 spots of a top 10 list for centers is actually very tough. These guys are very, swapping around very easily if you really want them to be. But for me personally, number 10, I have Clint Capella. Yes, Clint Capella of the Atlanta Hawks here at number 10. Kind of interesting, I guess you could say. Now I know you're thinking, ASMballeR, Clint Capella, a number 10 center in the NBA. I know, kind of crazy to think about, but think about this. It's kind of crazy to think about, but think about it. He averaged last season 15 points, nearly 15 rebounds, and also blocked, let's see here, 2 shots a game, almost a steal a game as well. Shooting, let's see here, from the field, 60% from the field last season. That's a pretty good stat line, I would have to say. Also, again, the crazy run the Atlanta Hawks had last season, again, carrying it into this season. This list is the top 10 centers going into the 2021-22 NBA season. Last season, Clint Capella had a pretty good year. I only see the Atlanta Hawks being at the very least about the same team they were last year. Obviously, keeping a lot of the same acquisitions, the players. Maybe they can only really get better from here. So I think Clint Capella, from what I saw from last season, could still have a very good impact on the floor. I think it's a good spot for Clint Capella. I don't really see. The only thing that really puts him down on my list is the fact that he's a very, one-sided player. He's a defensive big. He's gonna, have a lot of putbacks. He's gonna be able to catch lobs. That's all good and fun, but that's all he really is there to do, is to catch lobs and block shots. There's nothing really else he can really do. So at number 9, though, is where we get very controversial. And according to ESPN, which, by the way I'm doing these top 10 videos, if you didn't see my last video, are according to the positions listed on ESPN. These are not my opinions. It doesn't go like that anymore. It's just whatever ESPN says their position is what I'm doing. So, therefore, this player is a center, and last season had a very down year, but is still such a gifted player. I cannot leave him off a top 10 list if he was a power forward or a center. I gotta go with, at number 9, Kristaps Porzingis. Now again, I do know how good Kristaps Porzingis is. I'm not living under a rock. I know at one point in time, this dude, let's see, in New York, was averaging 22 points per game, almost 3 blocks a game. This dude was killing it in New York. Last season just left such a bad taste in all of our mouths. Pause. But it was just, the play is not right for him in Dallas. But again, still very gifted. Last season he averaged 20 points, over a block a game, half a steal, 9 rebounds. Kristaps to me would be probably more set to be a power forward, but last season he did play center, so he is a center according to ESPN and Basketball References and all those websites. And a player I feel like is just in a better position than Kristaps is. I am not saying he's a better player, but he's just in a better scenario, and that's Christian Wood from the Houston Rockets. Now, if you would switch these players, I think that'd be amazing for both guys. You get Kristaps, who's going to be on more of a team for himself. Obviously, they have Jalen Green, but Kristaps would definitely be the go-to guy in that scenario. And you can go back to being, Knicks' version of Kristaps Porzingis. But that's not the case. Luka Doncic is there in Dallas, so that's why I would maybe put Christian Wood over him, because Christian Wood is going to give more of an opportunity to do what he wants to do, which is why last season he averaged 21 points per game, basically 10 rebounds as well, and I think over a block as well. Not the best defender, but still very good and versatile. He shoots, 37% from 3 as well, 50% from the field. He's, a basic, good, solid stretch big in today's NBA, which is amazing. That's what every sort of team is looking for, is a stretch big. So he does it very well. Again, if Kristaps comes out of this season in the first couple weeks and shows that, hey, him and Luka can actually play together, Jason Kidd is actually doing a great job at, sort of using the two together, obviously this list could just go out the window really fast and have Kristaps being up higher on the list, which is amazing. But again, from what I saw last year, I think before Christian Wood got hurt, he was looking really good. Maybe even, I don't want to say this, but an all-star talk starting to form around Christian Wood, averaging 20 points over a block and some very good efficient numbers percentage-wise from shooting. It was looking pretty good for him, so I gotta put him over Kristaps, because Kristaps last year, man, that was not very good from what I saw in the postseason. So now, coming in at number 7, right? So we had Clint, Kristaps, Wood, yep. Coming in at number 7, we have Vucevic, Nikola Vucevic from the Chicago Bulls at number 7 with 23 points per game, 12 rebounds, 4 assists, and let's see how many blocks he had. Almost a block a game, almost a steal a game. So, you're giving up a little bit in blocks, but you're making it up in steals, which definitely isn't bad. And I think we all know Vucevic definitely isn't a sort of, defensive-minded center. Definitely not, but offensively has been one of the best offensive bigs for years, since basically he got in the league, since 2000. a player who, could score maybe 15 points per game and have a good rebounding game here and there, to being a guy who went tit for tat, blow for blow with Nikola Jokic and was, basically the Giannis helper, Giannis stopper when they faced the Bucks in the finals. Man, they were just really relying on Ayton, and he really showed up a lot in these big moments. So, man, Ayton last season only averaged 14 points and 11 rebounds. Not the craziest of stat lines, but I think just the impact he had on the court as well, also averaging over a block a game, was just more important. And I feel like, again, from what he learned, being not only his first postseason, his first year under Chris Paul, but being in the finals of the NBA, I feel like this year's going to be a lot of growth for Deandre, and I think even with Chris Paul really giving the reins to Devin Booker and Ayton a lot more this year, I think we're going to see a very much improved and more confident offensively Deandre Ayton. I cannot wait to see it. I think Deandre net 6 isn't crazy. Again, I'm giving him some room. I mean, I saw some list and things of having Ayton at 4 or 5, which I think might be a little disrespectful to the other players who have just been doing it a lot longer. And so now coming in at number 5, and again, this player could be, a number 3, could be 5, could be even number 6. It just depends on where you see him being. But for me, top 5 center, Bam Adebayo, Bam Adebayo at number 5. Now I know everyone loves Bam Adebayo, and so do I. I love his grittiness, his toughness. He reminds me of a little bit of a taller Ben Wallace, but if Ben Wallace had an offensive game, because this dude last year averaged 19 points, 9 rebounds, nearly 6 assists as well, over a block, over a steal. This dude can really do it all besides really stretch the floor, which I'm hoping and praying that he gets by, next year at least, him being able to hit at least a corner 3 at top of the key 3, something like that, to really help, again, stretch the floor for the Miami Heat would be very important. But anyways, does everything very well. It's just that these other centers that are ranked above him are just either, a better offensive player, a better defensive player, but I think obviously Bam Adebayo might be, honestly, the best all-around big man in the NBA. He can play bigs, he can play smalls, he can facilitate, he can guard, Giannis, he can guard LeBron, he can guard guards, he can do a whole lot of things. Just, he doesn't do one thing super dominantly, and I think that's one thing he needs to add to his game, is just being able to score better, being able to defend better, being able to facilitate better. I think once he tweaks these things a little bit more, Bam Adebayo at one point in time might be the best center in the NBA, maybe, who knows, but as of right now, I think just these other centers that I have personally ranked above him are just better at things that he's, good at. I would love to have Bam Adebayo on my team, but he's more of like an all-around player, not really just a dominant big man like these other guys I'm going to be talking about. So, I love Bam Adebayo. He's a very good player. And also maybe that, I guess, again, going into the year, the Miami Heat last year had a pretty poor outing in the playoffs, so maybe that's also why. But I think a top 5 center for Bam Adebayo isn't bad. At number 4 is, again, very much could argue a swap of Bam Adebayo, and I might even do that now that I think about it more and more. But with this player being fully healthy, hopefully going into next season, I'm still knocking him down maybe a spot or 2, depending on how you vision this guy is at full strength, but also his franchise is garbage. But anyways, at number 4, I have Karl-Anthony Towns. Yes, I have Ket. Now again, Bam Adebayo, more of an all-around player. Karl-Anthony Towns might be known as the best shooting center, maybe of all time. He averaged last season, again hurt for most of the year, 25 points, 11 rebounds, nearly 5 assists as well, over a block, nearly a steal, shooting, let's see, 39% from 3. Like, that is just so crazy. Again, that to say that because he is so tall and lanky. Of course he's gonna get rebounds. Of course he's gonna get blocks. But his IQ on the defensive end is absolutely insane. It changes games from how he plays, and I think that's super important. He is the best defender according to the NBA, being Defensive Player of the Year in the entire NBA. He can score a little bit. He is the best defender. He does everything super good. Oh man, and plus again, he's just on a really good team, and that may put him over, some other guys like Adebayo and Karl-Anthony Towns. Maybe because of the fact that they have a very good team that makes him also look really good. Kind of makes sense there. So at number 3, I got Rudy Gobert. Now at number 2, these guys, you know who they are. It's Joel Embiid and Nikola Jokic. We all know those guys are the best centers in the NBA right now. And this is such an opinionated argument. Well, not argument, sorry. We do not argue on this channel. This is such an opinionated opinion, choice, whatever you want to call it. And again, for me personally, my opinion is dumb, stupid, wrong. It doesn't mean anything. It means nothing. It's dust in the wind. But I do not think I can disrespect, again, like I did with Rudy Gobert being Defensive Player of the Year. Nikola Jokic right now is the reigning MVP, and I feel like it'd be so disrespectful to not put him number 1. So at number 2, I have Joel Embiid. Not because also the fact that obviously Jokic is the MVP right now, but it's also the fact that Joel Embiid has a problem on his hand, guys, and his problem is his team, and more importantly, Ben Simmons. Is the relationship of Ben Simmons and the 76ers going to even affect the play of Joel Embiid? I have no idea. We all sort of get on Ben Simmons for not being a great offensive player. Well, say he comes into the NBA next year and just is super ball dominant, tries to go out there and average 25 points per game, tries to be, that offensive guy that we're all asking him to be, and it takes away from Joel Embiid. That is a big what-if question we're going to find out. But last season, obviously being an MVP candidate as well as Jokic, but Jokic winning, averaged 29, basically, points per game, 11 rebounds, 3 assists, and over a block a game, a steal a game as well, shooting 37% from the 3-point line. Oh my god, super amazing. And I know we know that Embiid probably would have won the MVP last year if he didn't get hurt, but again, he got hurt. And the relationship of Ben Simmons is just, I don't know if that is going to actually hurt the play of Joel Embiid. You may think, ASMballeR, you're being stupid. No way, it's not going to, and that's totally fine. Joel Embiid could be your number 1, but I am going to take into account, again, this being a list of the 2021-2022 going into that season. It's a big question. So that means, yes, like I said, number 1 is going to be Nikola Jokic, the reigning MVP. He is the reigning MVP. His team is the exact same. It's just getting better, actually, with returning injury players. I don't see why he wouldn't be number 1 still in the NBA. Last season, he averaged 26 points, 11 rebounds, and 8 assists. Almost a triple-double for a big man is absolutely insane. He shot 38% from 3, and also almost a block a game, over a steal a game. I mean, Jokic is the best passing big man of all time, a great shooting big who can stretch the floor. He has a really good team centered around him, which a lot of the other guys can't really say about that, and his team is just going to get better with the returning players of Barton and Murray, and even getting Jeff Green on the team. And I think it's pretty important that I take that into a little bit of a consideration, but also the singularity of the player is important. And he's absolutely, man, you can put Jokic on any team, makes that team better instantaneously. So I think that's my list. I think that might be my list. So I have Jokic 1, Embiid 2, Gobert 3, and then at 4 and 5, I mean, dude, that Bam, Adebayo, and Karl-Anthony Towns, that's such a flip-floppy one that they might both be 4 and 5. I don't really care where you put those guys, I guess. 6 is Ayton, 7 is Vucevic, 8 is Christian Wood, 9 is Kristaps, and 10 Clint Capella. Honorable mentions, I mean, there's, Jonas Valanciunas, who had a really good year last year, but I think being on the Pelicans, being with another really good big in Zion Williamson is going to hurt him a lot, and also Brandon Ingram and a lot of the players are not going to get a lot of shine like it did on Memphis. I mean, there's Steven Adams, there's Yusuf Nurkic, there's Jared Allen, who had that big, huge contract extension. We could see maybe even James Wiseman take a very big push this next year, coming off an injury, could come back with a vengeance, being on a title-ready Warrior squad.